An estimated 12 million cubic metres of silt has been deposited throughout Hawke's Bay, of which an estimated 5 to 6 million cubic metres will be removed. Property owners will have to coordinate with insurers and EQC to remove silt deposits from their sites and deposit roadside, where a jointly formed Silt Recovery Taskforce is taking on the role of removal, stockpiling and ultimately reallocation.
The Silt Recovery Taskforce was officially stood up probably 3 weeks ago now, and that was in response to how can we be more efficient and how can we essentially tackle the beast of 5 million cubic metres of silt that could need to be collected. It's made up of Hastings and Hawke's Bay Regional Council staff and some external support. Somewhere around 4,000 hectares of land has been impacted. If you do some crude maths on that and apply 300 mil of silt on average across that, it's near 12 million cubic metres of silt. We know we're not going to collect it all. So we've currently got an 0800 number set up where those who are ready for silt to be collected can call and log a job. From there, we send out an assessor who assesses the job and has a look at the quantity, the type of silt, and helps us program it in respect of urgency. Where would we like silt collected from? But the early messaging was put it as close to your front boundary as possible, but please avoid drains. That means we don't have to haul trucks down into your property. If you want to talk around your situation, use those assessors that will come out to look at options for removing silt. We're asking you as best as possible to separate it, and we do realise that's not generally possible, so we're currently standing up sites where we can separate it ourselves. Again, give us a call, let us know that that's what the silt makeup is.
There are also provisions for property owners which are utilising contractors to go direct to silt deposit sites, if coordinated with the task force in advance. This also applies if the volume of silt makes roadside pickup impractical.
Anything inside the property is the landowner or property owner's responsibility with the insurers. Where an orchard or a lifestyle block has a contractor engaged to collect silt or move silt to the boundary, where it makes sense, we'd like to avoid double handling, so we are encouraging people to ring the 0800 number, talk to us, and we can then assess those contractors you're working with and give them access and approval to come into our deposit sites. That we are avoiding, and we're not allowing trailers and small trucks to come in because we need to be efficient at those sites as well, and when we can't have a backlog of people unloading off the back of trailers. We're working with Insurance Council around releasing an approved contractor list that those who have been in touch with insurers can talk to, and that makes the process of getting those silt piles to our sites a bit more efficient. And our priority is working through those that are impacting roadside drains, property boundaries. Yes, if it's impacting livelihoods and businesses, we'll work through that as well. If you've got a significant amount of silt on your site, obviously you're going to have to work in with your advisors, your insurers around what you do with your property in the future. If you've got a contractor in place to start moving that silt and it's not feasible to load it at your boundary, talk to us. We'll just chip away at it, bit by bit as we can, move trucks. We know this is a long haul. We know this is years, not months worth of recovery ahead of us. There are 6 different zones and they make up the bulk of Hawke's Bay with the affected areas, but we have jobs throughout Hawke's Bay generally. Each zone is active. We have contractors working through them at the moment. Some zones have stood up faster than others, like the Puketapu, Pakawhai area. We've been working extensively through those areas for the last few weeks, maybe even month. Esk areas starting to get up and running at the moment. Waiheke, Fernhill and Mahu has been up and running with contractors working in those areas at the moment. We're seeing down in central Hawke's Bay and southern Hawke's Bay, not a heap of jobs, but we're standing up a contractor there for any new collections that come up in that area. How long it takes, we're doing our best to jump on jobs that come in, assess them and then collect them. We expect that'll be a really long tail as people collect silt and move them out for collection. At the moment, we've got just over 260 jobs in our system through that 0800 number. That is what we know about to be collected. We estimate that's not even 20% of the sheer volume that's out there. Of those 260 jobs, we estimate that's about 1 million cubes ready for collection at the moment. We'll shortly be logging an online form so you can run on our website and fill in details, and you don't have to call the 0800 number. Both of those will go through to an assessor, whether it's a contractor or a council-based person. It'll come out and have a look at that silt and have a discussion with you around collection times and how we do that. Where's the silt going in the end? You'll see a pile like this. This is a stockpile. This isn't a permanent end use. This is a temporary measure. Ultimately, we're looking for multiple end-use opportunities. So as I touched on, composting might be one of them. We're working with some of the quarries around blending it in with aggregates if it's appropriate. It's not really the greatest material for rebuilding the stop banks. It's a bit too sandy in nature for that. We're looking at working with large private land blocks around filling in voids and gullies and recontouring land. So there's multiple end use. No one of those will solve our issue. There's just that much silt out there. And we're open to other opportunities as well. So we encourage, if you've got a potential end use for the silt, get in touch.